Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Is it getting through? Is it coming through? Hi, Helen. Hi, Kim. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Anderson. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Ivy. Hello. Hi, Jiva. Hi, Daniel. Hi, June. Hi, Joing. Yeah, we're crossing continents. Europe to Hong Kong to Indonesia to Australia. Great. Hi, Pansy. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Ivy. Yeah, Switzerland. Hello. From Perth. Hi, Bonnie. Yes. So great. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Angel. Hi, Miley. And from Korea. Yes. Hi, Luna Blue. The Chevalier Noir. There you are, Daniel. Hi, guys. Hi, Jay Richardson. Hi. Yes. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, the level 2-3 practice this morning was well, it was a strong practice, but it was strong level 2 with some level 3. Yeah, glad you tried it. Yes. Hi, Hitched 3D. Okay. Hi from Singapore. Great. Okay, cool. So Kitty, you're in Brisbane. Okay. So today is a pranayama practice, and it'll be just under an hour. But in order to, hi Sandy, hi Miss Mao, in order to, and hi Gigi. In order to experience pranayama properly, we need to be deeply relaxed and deeply awake. Hi, Maria. So what that means is that if we're coming into pranayama and our mind, we're all spazzy, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And if we're coming into pranayama and hi Sheila O'Sullivan. And if we're coming to pranayama and we're really exhausted and sleepy, it doesn't tend to work very well. So the pranayama is often combined with restorative poses and inversions to create a sattvic quality of energy, meaning that our mind is restful but illuminated. We want to be restful and illuminated. The restorative poses, the inversions, and some hip and groin openers are really good. But I wanted to discuss before we practice that pranayama, one of the great, hi Stephanie, in Paris, one of the greatest benefits that we can have through proper pranayama practice is that, hi Shelley, hi Mary, is through pranayama, both the theory behind it, but also my experience of it personally, is that pranayama creates an equanimous quality of our emotions. Like the flow of our emotions are, whether it's high emotions, getting spazzy and reactive and anxious and worried and angry, or the lower emotions like being really depressive or in that loathing energy. Pranayama has the power to create a more equanimous quality to that emotional energy in the body. So, because it's working deeply inside of us, and that starts to balance out the current of our mind. Our mind and our breath are tied together. And so certainly we know that when we're scared or excited, our breath is fast. And if we're more lazy, lethargic, or even depressed, our breath is actually really slow. So you could say that there is a a pretty good, we could deduce pretty clearly that if we alter our breath, we can alter that state of emotion or that state of mind. Meaning bringing down something that's too hyper or bringing up something that's too loathing, too low. And so I propose doing pranayama in the morning. What I do is I do 2 to 3 sets of anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 8 minutes. So some days I'll do 1 set of 8 minutes. That's it. Put my Apple timer on, or my phone timer on, and I do 8 minutes. One exercise is 8 minutes. Like Ujjayi, long, slow, deep inhalation with Kumbhaka at the top, exhale, and just repeating that. Or I do a long, slow exhalation with Kumbhaka at the bottom, pausing, and a normal inhale. Sometimes I'll do Ujjayi inhalation and Ujjayi exhalation, real slow. And in the morning, it triggers a deeper intelligence. This is my experience. It triggers a deeper intelligence in my mind. It sets the mind. Iyengar says it pacifies the mind, the brain, pacifies the brain. So my cat's getting ready for pranayama. So it pacifies the brain, and by doing that, all the sort of the bulletin board of our brain that has all these to-do things, to-do lists and worries and stuff like that, that aspect of the brain is pacified, and we come into a deeper current. So it's very helpful. So you don't have to do anything drastic. You don't have to do anything super intense, but doing 5 minutes, maybe 2 sets or 1 set of 1 slow, deep breathing technique, it can be extremely helpful. I highly recommend trying it in the morning when you first wake up. And if you're a meditator, pranayama is an amazing gateway practice into the meditative state of mind. So in Patanjali's sutra, he stipulates in the eight levels in the Ashtanga path. We have when you go up the levels, we go through yama and niyama, asana. Same with me, people. And then you go pranayama, pratyahara. So pranayama is the after asana. So when the body is stabilized, so because the spine is the roadway of our energy, and the spine is the central housing the housing of the central nervous system. So the spine is the roadway. So we need to strengthen the structure of the body to support that structure, because the spine is bones, right? So we do asanas to create a very strong housing for the nervous system. And then with the structure of the body stable through asana, then we're following this idea. Then you go to pranayama, and with the stability of the trunk and the spine, then you can start to move the current of the breath. Now, moving of the breath leads us to pratyahara, which is the withdrawal of the senses. So through pranayama, as you pacify the brain sort of retreats away from the tickling of smell and sight and hearing and all the senses that we have. It sort of retreats away, and you become really more deeply embodied or inhabited. And then it follows suit dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And dharana is focus, concentration. Dhyana is meditation. So with pranayama, as you pacify your brain, and then from that you lead into concentration. So pranayama is an amazing gateway into meditation, pranayama. And often our mind has a defense mechanism around things like meditation and pranayama because they're so slow. I remember one of my first pranayama workshops that I studied as a student in, the teacher said, pranayama is as exciting as watching grass grow. And I was like, what? And then we were doing it, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty boring. But it's interesting because now the subtlety of pranayama has become much more fascinating to me. But the natural state of our mind is like we want something quicker. We want to see evidence of what we just did. That's why asana has such a attraction for us, because you work out and you're like, oh man, I feel stronger. Burned off the apple pie last night. Pranayama is more like, I just feel quiet. But there's a lot of value in that quietness. The pacifying of the brain has an incredible effect when we are less thinking, when we're less in that sort of the wheels of the mind. When the wheels of the mind are not moving so fast, we're able to discriminate between the parts that are moving in our mind. When the mind's moving too fast, like the middle of the day, we get caught and we get spun out, and you can spend an hour doing something that's not important and go, what am I doing? Or you can get spun out with thoughts that are not important or not valuable or sometimes not true. So pacifying the brain has really deep positive implications. And when you quiet the mind and you retreat from the senses and you have this more concentrated attention, then things like meditation or just deep work itself, whatever deep work we're doing, is far more accessible. So a little bit of this kind of hatha yoga work can go a long way. Goes a long way. Okay, so what I was teaching the last two sessions was something to learn is that we have in the trunk, we have two main sections of the trunk. One is the hip bones to the bottom ribs. And this is like the abdomen, this area. We want this area to be relaxed and very open. We don't want this area to be closed. Like we do like 6-pack abs and do all the ab work. It's complete opposite, And you get if you go to like serious pranayama workshops or trainings, like you can get in trouble if you walk in with it's like that this is basically hatha yoga is not stipulating this kind of like super strong core. We need the energy. What is there, like 72,000 nadis? Nadis are the rivers that conduct the prana, the energy. And there's like 72,000, the number, nadis through the abdomen. And so unless we have this area very open, then these rivers can't conduct the prana. So we need to keep this area very open. So the two sections are from the bottom rib to the hip bones, this part, even into the pelvis. This part is the abdomen. But from the bottom rib, the diaphragm muscle, and above you have the rib cage, right? So the lungs are housed inside the rib cage. The ribs are actually protecting, the cage is protecting the lungs and the heart. So we start to differentiate between here and here, okay? And we want to have the experience that the spine is, show you a side view, the spine is the roadway. So the spine, there's a strength to the spine where we want the spine to be extended vertically, the strong line, and when you're sitting, the back of the buttock is flowing upwards. So this area is going upwards. We don't want this part of the buttock to go down. If this part goes down, then I should have my shirt off to show you, but I'm not going to do that. But if this buttock flesh goes down, then this part closes. So we have to actually learn, and we do it in asana. When you're sitting, you widen the back buttock, and the top here of the top of the back buttock and up into the sacrum, it all moves upwards. And as this goes upwards, it allows the pubic bone here to go down, which opens the abdomen. Now, when you're sitting, the thing is this part of the back buttock goes up, but as we discussed last week, here, the upper back neck and in between the shoulder blades here flows down. It goes down. The back buttock goes up and this part goes down. So there is a convergence on the back of the body which opens the abdomen and opens the rib cage. The rib cage, everybody okay? I'm going on and on and on. I know. But the rib cage, we need the strength of the spine and the back. But the rib cage, we have, it's like the metaphor is like, it's like a tiger's claw, but it's like when a tiger's paw is like this and a tiger's claw goes like this, goes. So if our rib cage is normally like a paw, we want it to be like a claw. So it's like really open. It's like really open. So there's spacing on the side ribs and the front ribs. The sternum bone is from the sternum bone in the vertical bone here where the ribs attach to the sternum in the center. The sternum bone, it needs to be able to stretch open both vertically and horizontally. So this part and this part. So you have, if the shoulder blades are going up, if these muscles are going up and are rounding forward, the sternum bone from top to bottom is shortening. So, it's no small thing actually. It's like when you're taking it seriously, it's like, wow, it's like sophisticated work. It's like, wow. And I find initially, a lot of this work feels very unfamiliar. Asanas and pranayamas are provisional self exercises, meaning doesn't feel natural. It's like, yeah, because our natural way is like, six-pack abs. It's like, it feels unnatural to be so open. So it's like I'm trying it out. It's like provisional. So the side ribs open like claws, sternum open, side to side. And this part very open, relaxed. So we do there's 4 basic sections to the breath. There's the inhalation. There's the pause between the inhale and the exhale, which most people never notice their whole life because it's like one thing, but we're studying it, we're dissecting it. There's the inhale, the pause, then there's the exhale, and then there's the pause between exhale and inhale, the gap, right? Inhalation, the pause, the gap, exhalation, the pause, gap, inhalation. So it creates the cycle of energy. Now, we are aiming to have like the most pure flow of energy. So we're both purifying the system, like our body system, the nadis, the nervous system, the spine, the actual structure, the ribs, the lungs, all that. We're purifying the system through yoga. But then we're working to have the highest quality of energy, of prana moving through us. It's both parts, right? So our relationship to the flow of the breath is really on us because prana is perfect. So it's like we have to transform the state of our systems and our mind in order to absorb, to really take on the transformative qualities of pure pranic energy. If you're collapsed, if the sternum is short, the abdomen's hard, and you're doing pranayama, you will not have the same return on the investment of time and effort. You won't. So it's like it's a long process. I mean, I feel like I've just barely started. It's a long process. But when you get a taste of it, it's like going beyond everything. Like if you've had a moment in asana where you're like, whoa, this is amazing. It has been my experience of years of asana going, oh my God, a back bend or a deep twist or that pranayama. It's like you can't even measure the experience because it is going beyond, as Iyengar would say, it's touching the infinite. It's like when the inner body is being touched by the breath in this new, when you open the periphery of the body from inside out, it's like, it's hard to articulate that experience of that kind of freedom, because it's inside you, it's inside your body mind. It's like, wow, that's powerful. And so one of my good friends, Steven, is an amazing pranayama teacher, and he and Iyengar are both constantly saying how it's like how it is key to be relaxed. Like if you're doing pranayama and your mind is tense, or even if you're thinking, then you're not there. Like you're not there. Like when the mind gets contracted, like if you're doing something and the mind gets contracted, it's like you're pulling away. You're actually pulling away from the breath. When the mind is in the breath, you know it's there because you are relaxed. Again, not easy. Not easy. And I don't mean to say that I'm saying it like blah blah blah. Like I find it incredibly, beautifully challenging to catch those moments, to get into that space. So preparation is really valuable. Part of why I'm sitting talking for 20 minutes is because this dialogue itself helps to prepare the mind. It orients us to what we're doing, and we don't just jump in, do it. We sort of orient to it. That's, again, part of why I think that doing pranayama in the morning, early morning, is very helpful, because your mind is already in that quiet state from having been asleep, and it's before the world's moving, before we start thinking about everything. There's like a gateway into something deeper. So I do very basic pranayamas. So we do exhalation, ujjayi exhalation, so long, slow, deep exhalation. And at the very bottom, a simple pause. And when you do this exhalation, it's like there's no hurry, there's no stress. You just exhale slowly, 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 slowly. And at the very bottom of the exhale, which is not so, it's not as easy to detect as we think, to notice, like, am I at the bottom of the exhale? At the bottom of the exhale, you pause for a moment, where there's no breath in the body. And then you naturally inhale, a nice full inhale, nice full exhale, and then you begin again. And so you allow a release of the effort after the full exhalation. So we exhale, 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 exhale. Slowly, slowly exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. And at the very bottom, it's like you're excavating down through areas of yourself that you never even checked, the basement, Exhale. Is it down there with the bottom? Exhale. You excavate, excavate, excavate. The very bottom, you just pause. Then you inhale, exhale, and you begin again. Full inhale, and at the top, slowly exhale. So that is the basic premise of the ujjayi exhalation, with a exhalation with a retention after exhale. And it's not, doesn't be long. Sometimes for me, it's like 3 seconds. Some days it's like 30 seconds. I mean, the state of mind is revealed clearly. It's amazing. And then we do inhalation. And the inhalation is slow, deep, and again, smooth and penetrating. We inhale from the bottom to the top. And when you're inhaling, we focus on touching the inside of the sternum plate, touching the inside, and touching the side ribs, like under the armpit, letting the breath touch this space. And then at the very top, we touch under the collarbones. Like, you touch under the collarbones all the way around, circumferentially around the trunk. So when we're inhaling, it's a slow, deep inhalation, and you go up and you touch the inside of the sternum. You touch the side ribs. And then you touch right underneath, like the whole top structure, the breath, like, it's like you're touching. It's touching. It's like, imagine like when you're, painting the inside of a massive room. It's like you have to touch all the parts. It's like letting the whole thing be in contact. The breath touches all parts, and it's at the top of the inhalation, the very top. Like then there's like a little, I find that especially the inhalation, there's like a little pulling of the breath at the very, very top, pulling the breath in at the top. You pause. And you, again, it's with no effort. So it's not like, the way that I have been taught that you practice these retentions, but that you're holding too long if the following phase of the breath, so like after inhale, if you exhale and there's effort, like you have to push it out, or at the bottom of the exhale when you hold, if you kind of gasp, if you have to pull the breath in, this is too long. Because remember, the key is the breath, the potency of the breath. It's like it's a beautiful flower or whatever, like what's the metaphor, that like it will open, like incredible illumination from the prana of the breath, only if we're relaxed. If you're not relaxed, it doesn't open. So it's like, you can be like, wow, big inhale holding or big exhale holding, and be like, da, 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 and then go to the next. Because there's kind of an energetic boost you get from doing those holds. But the illumination of the prana doesn't open unless the brain is pacified, unless we're quiet and relaxed. So it's kind of, you kind of have to like negotiate with yourself, like start easy. Don't hold for long, just investigate. At the top of the inhale, you pause. Super peaceful. Then you exhale, inhale, exhale, and then you return again. So it's like, it's a really gentle experience. It's not intense. You want to be, and I find, especially with like strong A-type, half of you guys, maybe all you guys, A-type like go-getters and like strong asana practitioners, so much of pranayama is like, chill, Winston, chill. Without collapsing. It's like, can you chill within this incredible power of your spine and nervous system? Okay, so we're going to take a moment and rest first. So clearly I don't have any room because my cats are there, but I am going to, we're going to do Supta Virasana or Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can use a bolster and a blanket. Okay, guys. I know, it's not fair. Bolster or blanket. And whichever you're using, you have a head pillow. Okay, so you can do Supta Virasana or Baddha Konasana. Okay. So, and we want, today the pelvis will be on the floor, and the bolster or the blankets support the back of the pelvis and the low back. Okay, we're gonna hold this for just a few minutes, not too long. We're gonna do 5 minutes. So when you go back, I'm in Virasana. When you go back, you move the buttock flesh down. The blanket should be under the head. And now you adjust so that the back of the trunk takes on that shape that we're going to use when we're sitting up. You relax, let the thighs descend. If Virasa is too much, do Baddha Konasana with a belt. Now, the abdomen we're relaxing the abdomen. But the rib cage, we have to adjust the skin of the back so that the back of the trunk is quite stable, using the bolster or blanket as support. And then the claw of the rib cage begins to open. Slide the back of the skull away from the shoulders. Release the arms. And then close your eyes. We want the trunk to create we're using the bolster to create a form for the trunk. The abdomen relaxed completely. From here, you just begin by making slower, deeper inhalations. Just simple, slower, deeper inhalations. And let the inhalation fill the center of the chest, and then it opens completely to the periphery of the trunk. Then you exhale, just relax. You make slow, smooth inhalations to the center of the chest. And at the top, you let the breath expand to the periphery. And then you exhale. No holding, don't hold, just relax, let go. Couple of more slow, deep inhales. Let your body relax, let your brain relax, let your mind relax. One more slow, deep inhalation to the center of the chest. And then opening to the periphery of the trunk. After that, you can relax the abdomen, relax just for a moment. And then you can slowly come up, roll your side, or however you want to come up. Okay, I'm going to turn the comments on just in case you have questions or whatever. Okay, so now we're going to do sitting upright. So you want to use a blanket. And I recommend like being generous. You can sit in lotus pose or whatever also, which can be really nice if your knees are happy or whatever. Otherwise, you sit up on folded blanket or two so that when you're sitting, it's really easy, let's say, for the for the back, for using the hands, widen your sit bones, and then for the back of the top buttock to flow up. So we want to get that shaping of the spine, right? So we don't want the top back buttock to go down. The pubic bone lifts up. We want the top back buttock to go up. So the pubic bone goes down, opens the abdomen, opens the ribs. Okay. Widen your sit bones. And you take a moment to let everything settle. Now we're going to, you address the pelvis, pubic bone, notice the direction, back buttock. And then you address the spine, the roadway of the energy. The spine's vertical, and there's strength involved within the spine. I find you can notice the spine areas that are weak, where it's not really paying attention. We want the spine to be vertical. Now, we're going to use Jalandhara Bandha. So the center of the back shoulder blades flows down the back, and then we open the abdomen, open the ribs. Now, when you lower your chin towards the notch of your collarbones, when you lower your chin, what tends to happen is the shoulders go with it. So you turn the palms up, roll the biceps from inside outside, and take the shoulders down, so you have this really nice tiger claw opening of the ribs. And when the chin goes down, we don't harden. We keep the back ribs firm, the front chest open, but we let the chin come down without hardening the throat. Don't harden the throat. Let's practice bowing the head towards the heart. This is the goal, to pacify the brain and set our intelligence into our heart center. Okay, now we're going to do Ujjayi exhalation. I want you to imagine that within the trunk, on the back of the trunk, the side that's facing forward, so let's say the inside surface of the back of the trunk, I want you to imagine this is like a perfect cliff face. I think of like Yosemite Valley, like one of those beautiful 5,000 foot rock faces. Imagine this the back of your trunk is this rock face. And when you exhale, the exhalation is like a very small river, or like a stream of water that's moving slowly down the surface of this rock face, very slowly. And you follow like this consistent stream of the breath flowing down the rock face all the way to the very bottom of the trunk, bottom of the spine. And as you exhale, you have to exhale, remember, practicing the exhalation, so it's releasing all of the breath to the bottom. You have to excavate. Then you inhale and exhale and begin again without hardening the throat. And I'm gonna do it with you, do some rounds with you. Now remember, in the beginning, we don't need to begin with holding the breath out at the bottom. You just relax. You just practice the exhale nice and slow. And then a nice inhale, exhale, and begin again. Nice and slow. Slow, smooth exhale. And as you relax into it, you will more naturally pause at the bottom. And you let the exhalation, the retention at the end, grow by relaxing into the exercise more. So as we go further through the exercise, that retention can potentially grow longer and longer, but never to a point where you feel stressed out or that you need an inhale. I mean, you need an inhale, but you know what I mean. Okay. Turn the palms up. Check the positioning of the groin, the positioning of the back buttock, the position of the pubic bone. Slide the shoulder blades down. Extend the spine upwards. You have the strength of the spine and the nervous system. Bow your head as you exhale. Empty. And then inhale a deep, fresh breath in. And at the top, begin to exhale slowly. Slowly exhaling. Following the exhale down as if a water stream, a very slow stream, was going down this rock face, the structure of the spine. Exhaling slowly and smoothly. The very, very bottom, just follow it to the bottom, exhale. Find the bottom, excavate to the bottom. And then inhale, don't worry about holding, inhale and exhale. And we follow this simple rhythm, exhaling to the bottom. We're going to keep going. I'm going to do it with you. Make a natural breath between evenly. Inhale, exhale, and then begin again. Inhale to the top. Ujjayi, exhale. You can lift your chin between sets. Then you set the chin down once again as you prepare for the next exhale. Begin to explore the bottom of the exhalation so that you excavate. The very bottom, excavate. And at the very bottom, you start to experience the pause, the simple pause at the bottom of the exhale before you take a normal inhale. Once you feel more comfortable, you now link 2 long, slow exhalations with a normal inhalation between. So it's a long, slow, deep exhale to the very bottom of the bottom of the bottom. You pause. Then a fresh, deep inhale to the top and begin again. When you're done, you can lift your chin. You just notice any hardening. There is a fatigue that happens, a little fatigue that happens, I find, with certain muscles trying to hold a position, and then the throat with the head down, that it takes a while to become familiar with. We're sort of training the system to hold a position and then to channel the breath. So it's quite profound for the physical body as well. But yeah, so it's like practicing holding a stable structure while relaxing. Okay, so now we're going to do just one more exercise as I described the Ujjayi inhalation. Slow, deep inhalation, touching the inner face of the sternum, the side ribs, and then the top of the space under the collarbones, around the whole upper trunk. You fill the breath, and you pause for a moment, and then you exhale, inhale, exhale, and begin again. But the pausing, the holding tends to be, we're more accustomed to holding at the top. So it's like without relaxing yet, we can hold and then we agitate. So you start with these kumbhakas, the holding at the top, just light, like don't even hold, just like inhale to the very top, and then exhale. And then inhale to the very top, and exhale. And then you let this cresting at the top remain a little longer over time. Okay, so it's like a little bit longer over time. So no stress, no pressure. The inner thighs release. The pubic bone tips down, the abdomen opens. Sternum vertical length and horizontal, spreading space. Inner shoulder blades descend, turn the palms up. Okay. And as you exhale to empty, bow your chin to the notch of your collarbones. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Empty. And then begin Ujjayi inhalation. Inhaling slowly. Touch the inner face of the sternum and the side ribs under the armpit. And then you draw the breath in slowly to fill the very top chamber of the lungs. At the very top, use just a slight pause. Then you exhale. And we continue this. If you need to take a normal breath between, you lift your chin, relax for a moment, and then return. You want to increase the quality of the prana, increase the volume of the prana. So no stress. Stay with it. As you become more comfortable with this the top of the inhalation, you pause for slightly longer and just experience a slightly more extended space here before you exhale. Just 2 or 3 times, don't worry about getting it wrong. You just try. Last 2. Last 1. Lifting your chin when you're finished. Fold your hands. And we bow our heads with the practices of yoga, and tonight with this pranayama, we bow just to the incredible, the infinite space of consciousness and the spirit and the soul of our being, this depth of who we are that is represented by the entire cosmos, just to that incredible depth, that amazing unknown space, and this beautiful tradition that guides us into that. Namaste. Okay, so I suggest taking maybe 3-4 minutes of Shavasana. Take a few minutes of Shavasana to rest before you eat. And I'd love to hear from you. How was that watching the grass grow? so boring. But tell me how it goes, and tell me if you want me to keep doing this, I will, for you people. Okay. Hi. Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Brandy. You're welcome, guys. Karen. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 if you'd like to listen to the talk. Have a beautiful night. Namaste.